Hey everybody, it's Mr. G, and I'm just noticing these beautiful bulbs that are coming up. These are daffodils, and I've got some tulips that have not come up yet, and I've got another pretty little purple thing, and these just come up in the middle of my yard. So I let them grow out in the spring, and then eventually I have to mow them down and they become part of my lawn. But in the early spring, these pop up and they're so beautiful. So I thought it would be a great idea to go inside and draw some tulips and daffodils. So let's head on inside here. Go through my messy yard here. And again, here's my little art studio that I've got set up. Here's Mr. Grundman. Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. So let's set this up again. We'll get it centered so that we can draw a tulip. We'll see if we can do a daffodil as well, but a tulip is pretty easy. So this is for younger kids that are just starting out, or beginners, or any age if you just want to have some fun and draw a real simple tulip. So I'm going to grab my pencil. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this with a marker first so everybody can see it better. But I'm going to suggest that everybody else use a pencil. It's always better to start out with a pencil. In case you make a mistake, you can erase it. But I'm going to go ahead and start doing it with a Sharpie. So first I'm going to start with the flower part of the tulip, kind of up near the top of the paper. So it's going to end right about here. You don't want any of your art to go right to the edge of the paper, but near the edge of the paper. And so you're going to make a letter U, like a capital letter U. And I like to practice a few times before I do it, and then I can real carefully draw a letter U. Kind of big like that. So we're going to have a flower petal here and a flower petal there coming down. So what I like to do is maybe add a little bit of a curve coming out on both sides, right at the end, just a little bit. And then we're going to think of this kind of like an eye shape or a football shape or something where it's curved on one side and curved on the other. So we're just going to aim for down here, and we're going to go right up to the tip like that. So again, it's better to practice a few times without doing it, and then it makes it really easy to go ahead and do that and connect the line. Now with this petal, we're going to pretend that we're going to come down all the way here, but we're not going to go through this petal that's in front, so we're just going to come halfway down and we're going to stop. Just like that. Now we've got the two big tulip petals. Now we're going to need one in the middle. So that's going to come up right near the top. Like I said, I'm going to put a point there, a little dot. And again, that's going to give us a target to go right in about the middle of this petal. We're going to go up to that petal. So it's like we're making a upside down V. 1 and 2, like that. We're almost done with the flower, but we've got a little bit of room in here. We can put some other petals in the back. So we can go another little V like this, and another one like this. And now we've got a nice little tulip that we can color in later. So now we're gonna move on to the stem. And the stem, I'm gonna use green, but again, you're gonna use pencil and you can come back and color it in later. We're gonna do a stem that's not going to come all the way down to the bottom, and I'll tell you why it's not going to come all the way down to the bottom in a little bit. So we're just going to draw a straight line and another straight line, and we're going to save some room because we want to put a pot here. We're going to put this tulip in a pot. But now tulips have big giant leaves, so we're going to add a big leaf that comes almost up to the top here. So it starts here, and again, it's going to be not a straight line, but a curved line. So we're going to practice that like this, come all the way up, and we're going to curve it like this. And then we're going to bring it down and have it connect at the bottom. Like that. We've got a big giant tulip leaf. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to go up. Now leaves are natural, so they're not perfect. Not every single one of them is the same, so there's really no wrong way of doing this. I made this one come down a little bit lower than this one. That's just to make it look a little more interesting. And we can put a line down the middle if we'd like. A curved line. Like that. And again, we'll color that in later. So now we want to do, this is the tricky part. We're gonna do a flower pot. We could make this flower pot straight, but I want it to look a little bit more realistic. So we're gonna think of an oval here for the top of the flower pot. So it's gonna be a long, skinny oval going horizontally, left to right, like this. So some of this, now if we do this with pencil, we'll be able to erase, but some of this is gonna go through the leaves. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna do this with pencil. I'm switching. Do it with pencil, and then I'm gonna be able to erase the parts that I don't need. So right underneath the flower, we're going to draw almost like a happy face. But again, real skinny, and then we're gonna come back around like this. Again, this is tricky, but I think you guys can see that. And then we would just erase the parts that go through the leaves and the stem, because we're not going to be able to see that part of the flower pot because it's hidden. So now we're going to trace the pencil line that we have left over. There's a little bit there and a little bit there. So now we've got the top of the flower pot. We're going to put a little collar or a little edge band on this. So we're just going to bring a line down on both sides, 1, 2, and then we're going to follow that same curve there. We're going to follow that to the other side like this. And then we're going to draw a line on both sides that comes not straight down, but down and in at an angle. And here we're going to do the other side, down and in at an angle. Now, this is a mistake that a lot of people make. They'll make the bottom perfectly straight like this. We want to actually follow that same curve on the bottom as well. So we're going to make the bottom look like this. See how I've made a really good use of my space? This comes almost down to the edge of the paper here. This goes almost to the edge of the paper on top. Now, I'm going to try, you should be able to see that go all the way into there like this. And I'm going to try to make this inside ridge visible on the other side here. This gets a little tricky, but I'm going to follow this curve inside like this. And again, it's going to stop and then it's going to go through like this. So that looks like the inside of a pot. And then you can use colored pencil. I've got some green colored pencils. A couple different green ones here. Or you can use a marker. I guess the marker is going to work pretty well. And I'm using a little bit lighter green for this one. And if you do this really neatly, it'll turn out really, really nice. You don't want to color fast. It's never a race. It's never a race. It's always, let's take our time and do it carefully and neatly. Even when you're coloring in a big area like this, color a little bit at a time, and back and forth is a good motion, or little circles like this is a good way to color in, but you've got to do it slowly. You've got to do a little bit at a time. Otherwise, if you try, a lot of people do this. They'll see this whole big leaf and they say, I got to color this leaf. And they'll start going like this and start coloring the whole leaf like that. And they'll go out of the lines and it's not as dark. So please try your best not to do it too fast. I sometimes say, don't scribble. It's not like you're scribbling. It's actually that you're just trying to color it too fast. good things take time, so you have to take your time and do it right. Now, I am not going to take all the time to do this. I will finish this later, and I will post a picture of it so that you can see what the finished work looks like, because you can always go back and rewind, or you can always pause it if you need more time. And we're going to stop with there. I'm not going to do a daffodil with this. This is a beautiful tulip. And again, I will color this in and take a picture of it, and you'll be able to come back and see and try it yourself and just do your best. And that'll do it. Maybe you can give this to Mom for Mother's Day, which is coming up in a few weeks. It's a beautiful tulip. Happy spring. Soon it'll be spring. I know we're kind of cooped up in the house for a while, but I miss you guys. I really, really wish we were in class. I don't particularly like doing this from home. I'd much rather be with all of you guys in class having fun, but it is what it is, and we'll make it through it. And again, I hope to see you guys soon. In the meantime, good luck creating, and keep doing your drawing and painting and all your creative stuff. Bye-bye.